All right. Well, let's get back to an issue that we've covered extensively here on the platform, but has had limited or very biased coverage in our mainstream news media. On Friday of last week, the Hobson's Pledge organisation took out a full page, in fact, wraparound ad, front page wraparound ad on the Herald for several $1,000s, we understand, encouraging people to sign a petition on the Foreshore and Seabed and raising the prospect that much of it would be that it should be returned to public ownership, and suggesting that current decisions by the courts and legislative processes might damage public access to the foreshore, to our beaches. The Herald copped a bit of flack from the usual woke suspects like the Maori Party, Wātea News, which is owned by the Maori Party and Willie Jackson, and a whole lot of other Maori hand-wringers. They all say, oh, the Herald, that's terrible. The Herald gives an impression of having a spine, and then it folds. It folds like a pack of cards and says we're not taking any more ads from Hobson's Pledge. And then the rest of the media get together with the Herald, TVNZ and RNZ, and they find a whole lot of academics to say all this stuff already was in public ownership, and this ad incites disharmony and racism and hatred, even though lawyers wouldn't know what incites that or know anything about that. But, of course, the mainstream media have now decided Hobson's Pledge bad, all things Maori good, and God is back in his heaven. Well, one organisation that has been talking about and raising concerns, legitimate concerns, I believe, about what's happening with our foreshore and seabed has been the Centre for Political Research. And it seems to me almost as if Hobson's Pledge are developing on the groundwork that Muriel Newman and her organisation have done on this issue. So I was interested to see what Muriel Newman makes of this current brouhaha. She joins us now. Muriel, nice to have you back on the platform. How are you? You there, Muriel? Oh, hang on.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I've got you. Thank you. I had the wrong button pushed. All right. Muriel, firstly, am I right in thinking there's been some crossover or some discussion between Hobson's Pledge and yourself on this issue?
Not really. It's just one of those issues that's been bubbling along for a lot of years, as you're aware. When the law was changed, back in 2011, people like Don Brash and who really thought about the issue was opposed to what was going on. And of course, once Don formed Hobson's Pledge, then they took the line that, in fact, the coast would have been far better being left in public ownership, which is exactly the conclusion we'd reached many years before. So, no, I think it's one of those issues that's been on the agenda, and, of course, with the coalition government talking about changing the law to clarify the law from where it's ended up under the courts, Don has and Hobson's Pledge have taken this approach.
Yeah. Muriel, would it be fair to say we had a law about customary ownership or applying for it, and our courts then took the law passed by Parliament and reinterpreted it, which had quite a massive impact on the proportion of our coastline which might have Maori customary rights applied to it?
That's exactly correct. And, the assurance that was given by the national government when they changed the law was that no more than around 10% of the coast would end up in Maori ownership or under Maori control. To be fair, the Court of Appeal, when it made that, landmark change back in 2003, it was talking about pockets of the coast that might still have customary title. And so we all thought that, heavens, the government is actually pushing the barrow and, more of the coast is going to go. But there is no way at all that they signalled that the whole coast would end up under Maori control.
Well,
and
is
of course,
there,
that's
how
where the
much,
courts have ended
how
up.
much, firstly, let's get some things straight, Muriel. Is customary right or customary title, does that mean complete Maori control?
What it means is it is akin to ownership. It isn't ownership.
My question was quite specific. Does it mean total Maori control? Yes or no?
Yes, it does.
So Maori, if they get their customary rights...
But it doesn't. That answer does need to be qualified, though.
Oh, okay.
Because
qualified.
as I said, if you think of ownership of land or property, then normally you can sell it, right? So under this law, you can't sell it.
I think of people having rights of access. You can put up a fence and stop people using it or being on it.
Okay, well, what the owners, customary title owners have, is the right to issue wahi tapu, which means that they'll declare their area sacred. And when the claims, were lodged in 2017, vast numbers of the potential owners of these bits of coast wanted the whole area to be wahi tapu. So,
and how much of New Zealand's foreshore seabed coastline is now under, is under request for customary title?
The whole lot, many times over. There are overlapping claims over the whole coastline, everywhere.
Okay, that is important to note. And that was not the intent of this legislation, clearly.
It wasn't the intent at all.
Okay.
And just to dig down, though, into what it means if they get a customary marine title, what it means is that they can sell the minerals that are in the foreshore and seabed. Now, they can't sell the nationalised minerals, gold, silver, petroleum and so on, but they can rare earths, cadmium, copper, all the other things, iron sands, everything that's in there, they have the right to own it and sell it. Mm-hmm. They can charge commercial operators. So if you've got a surf school running on a beach, they could charge them. And so there are huge benefits from this ownership.
Okay. All right. Now, who is that ownership currently vested in?
At the moment, it's no one. So just to go back for 170 years, the foreshore and seabed was in Crown ownership. That's under British common law, and of course that's what we inherited in 1840.
Yeah.
And it's only since 2011 that when the Marine and Coastal Area Act was changed, that it suddenly nobody owned it, and that, of course, was to allow for Maori to make their claims.